Fluent Hustle, how's it going? Happy, what day is it? Tuesday? Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, right? It's been a long week already. So, Ira Coleman here, the founder of Fluent Hustle. Today I am live with the owner of Milk Glass Productions, Carly. What's your last name? Witzburg.
Yes,
so
that's me.
Super excited to have you on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
I came across you on Instagram with another project, an event you have coming ahead, and did some back-end research and realized that you have two other companies. And I was like, this is a person that I need to connect with. Talk about a true hustler, one that has gone through a lot of experiences and networking and travel between New Jersey, Colorado here in school, going out to New York and getting your teeth kicked in from experiences and everything like that. So I was reached out to you and said I'd love to get you on my show. And so I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be able to come on here and be part of our community. So Fluent Hustle is a community that empowers, promotes, and inspires entrepreneurs through the stories of other entrepreneurs like Carly. So today she's going to be sharing her experiences that we've had, or that she's had, I should say, in running a business. And Milk Glass Productions has been around for 5 years. You just had your 5th year anniversary.
Yes, in January.
So January to 2013. And how awesome is that? 5 years in.
Yes, it's great. It's really exciting, and we just keep growing and we keep adding more employees and more experiences. So we're very fortunate.
I got to read your resume. So I did some research on LinkedIn, went to your website, and I'm not going to do any justice by just winging this. So I'm going to read it verbatim as you have it because, one, you deserve it, and what you've done. So Milk Glass Productions is a boutique event firm located here in Denver. They are experts in designing and producing every variety of meetings, ceremonies, celebrations, social gatherings. They guide each client through coordination and execution of an event that is unique to their needs. Budget and aesthetic vision. I love that aesthetic vision. Talk about aesthetic vision that we have as a backdrop right here.
Yes, this is from a 40th birthday party. We actually built this backdrop. But yeah, we do corporate events, we do charity events, we do probably 20 to 30 weddings a year, depending on the year. We're trying to cut back on that and do, bigger budgets and less weddings. So that's kind of been our focus this year going into 2018. But, we work with some really cool corporate companies. We do fashion shows. So we're kind of all over the map. And I think that, we create a really unique experience for our clients. We go above and beyond. Just to be there from start to finish, the first one in, the last one to leave, right? That kind of thing.
How long did it take you to put this together? You said you made this yourself, right?
Yeah, so this was from one of our first years. We had a 40th birthday party, and this took probably 200 hours of all of us crafting. We used to craft a lot more our first year, to kind of stand out and as we were getting the ball rolling before we had a ton of clients, we had a lot more time.
Love it. Well,
to do things like this.
Well, this is beautiful. When I said, hey, find me a cool backdrop, and I walked in, I wasn't expecting this. So I was like, this is definitely where we're going to have it, and not against the couch and the curtains, I guess you didn't say.
And you can't see the whole thing, but it's, very colorful, and it's helpful for brides when they come in and they're telling me about their color palette. They're like, it's this and this. So,
that's very helpful.
Yeah, so it actually became really helpful.
Good.
Having that, yeah.
All right, if you're watching this, Ira Coleman here, the founder of Fluent Hustle. Please like, share, and comment throughout this live show, and obviously afterwards. So I'm going to grab my phone right now. I'm going to tee this up and get this shared on my personal network. Whoop. Actually, it went live as we're doing it right now, so we don't want to do that. All right. And then if we can just go ahead and share that to everyone, that'd be greatly appreciated. So how did you, one, get involved in this industry? Like, is this something that you grew up with, like having a passion for design and I don't know, like what's the story behind it?
So I think that when I went from college to the Hamptons. I had an internship there.
And where'd you go to college?
So I went to University of Colorado at Boulder.
Okay, right here in our backyard.
Yeah, go Buffs. And so I had an internship in the Hamptons, and they had me doing a little bit of everything. They had me writing articles. They had me, so it's a bi-monthly from Memorial Day till Labor Day, because that's when the Hamptons is kind of happening.
Yeah.
So they had 2 covers a month, and they had cover parties for each of these.
What's
events.
A cover party?
So, for example, Fergie would be on the cover, and Fergie would come to the house, and we'd have, the magazine cover blown up, and we'd have sponsors, and, we'd have, like, Ferraris in the front.
That's awesome. That's a cool experience.
Porsche and stuff like that. So we worked with a lot of luxury brands at the magazine, and so I just, lit up when we started doing the events.
Yeah.
And it was just such a passion for me, I call it the organized chaos of it all. I just thrived. I really, you plan something for months, and then to see everyone enjoying themselves and having a really great time, it's just really rewarding, to see it all come to fruition.
Was this something that, like, you wanted to get into when you were younger, or is this something that really, like, throughout college? Because I know you have a degree in communications, right?
Yes. So if I'm being honest, no, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I just was kind of figuring it all out. I was a comm major because my junior year, I went, my guidance counselor called me in, and she's like, you have to declare a major, you're a junior. And I was like, well, what do I have the most in? And she's like, communications. And I was like, there you go. So I wasn't, I always got good grades, but I wasn't very academic, and I didn't really, it wasn't a passion of mine. I threw an event my freshman year, which was very successful for a friend who actually had gotten into an accident, and he didn't have health insurance, so we threw an event.
Fundraiser?
Yeah, fundraiser at the Fox. I had only been there for 3 months, and I threw it with my girlfriend Shelby, and we had local friends who were DJs come, and so I always was throwing events and doing things like that. But it wasn't until that internship that I really figured out that I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome. And you grew up in New Jersey, right?
Yes, so I grew up in New Jersey. And
how'd you like it out there? I'm an East Coast boy as well. I was born in upstate New York.
Yeah, so I love living in New Jersey. It's a beautiful place. And I also love New York City. I grew up about 30 minutes outside of New York City. And my brother and sister-in-law still live there. And my parents just moved back. So I'm there a lot, but I wake up happy every day in Colorado.
Yes.
Like the hustle of the city, definitely everyone's like climbing that ladder, and, I would not take back the experience I had in New York City for anything, but definitely like Colorado is for me.
I agree with you as well. So, being born in New York, I didn't have much time like living that experience. But being in Chicago, Chicago is a hustle and bustle of most major cities, and then coming out here, where I was like, this is my home now. Like, it's super awesome, and I say it every show that I'm on. Like, the weather out here is 70 degrees, the sun is shining, and it's the second day of spring. So
when I first got off the plane, just seeing all the mountain views and all of that, I was just in love with it right away.
So growing up, what was your ideal, like, when I want to get older, like, what was that job?
I wrestled around with a few different ideas, everything from maybe being like a weather girl to, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. But I was very organized, and, I think that I'm just a really hard worker. I work night and day, and I love it, and if you love what you do, it's just figuring out what you love.
It doesn't seem like work when you're bought into what you're doing. You're very passionate about it.
And it's just about trying a bunch of different things and figuring out what you don't like to figure out what you do. And I tell my clients that all the time, when I'm planning a wedding for them. Until I figure out what 4 chairs they don't like, we don't know which one they do.
Sure.
So, by the end of it, I have a really good idea and a good feel for what they're going to like. But in the beginning, it's really figuring out what you don't like. And I think that's brought me to events, is, trying a bunch of things like, okay, you tried writing, you're not a good writer. You tried this, you tried that. So it's definitely, figuring out your likes and dislikes and figuring out your place in the world and, what you're good at and how you can, like you said to me, you love talking and meeting new people.
I sure do.
And so this is why this is so perfect for you.
Yeah.
So, you got to play around with things.
Let's talk about the resume again and the amazing people you've worked with.
Yes.
Big names.
Yes.
From Beth and Howard Stern to Fergie to Russell Simmons, the Jonas Brothers, Sandra Morgan. You also, helped produce an event for Cake Boss and Dina's Party. like you're dealing with individuals that are celebrities, and typically probably have high expectations. Would you agree?
Yes.
So
yes.
like, how were you like able to take that experience early on in your career and one, like not just be jumping out of your skin because you're meeting celebrities, but to keep the professionalism at a very, very high level when dealing with these type of clients?
Definitely. You know, with celebrities come, you know, a whole team of people. So you're not just working with one individual. You're working with their PR team, their agent, you know, their schedule, their travel. So I would do everything from plan, you know, them coming in on a jet to an airport in the Hamptons, and then from there book them a Rolls Royce to a house, book the house, and then book them a car to the event that I was throwing.
Right.
And, you know, with that, some people would ask for, you know, a certain type of drink and food, you know, so like the level of service that was needed, you just had to be on point.
Right.
And it taught me, you know, just customer service at a level that I didn't even know
I love that.
was possible.
Right.
So, you know, when you think of like big venues and 5-star service, that's what we were providing.
Sure.
So,
And how were you able to incorporate that experience now into Milk Glass Productions, and you know, hopefully looking at every client the same way?
Yes.
You know, whatever their budget is, because you mentioned
Right.
customer service, and I think that's crucial in whatever business you're in. The customer needs to come first, and also setting proper expectations with the customer. But you know, making sure that they also feel like a celebrity, you know, at the end of the day.
right. No, and you said it perfectly. No matter what their budget, you know, we treat everyone the same. We give everyone, you know, the exact same attention. And I think that, you know, for example, we had clients in September, and we had transportation from DIA, and they were nervous about, you know, all the logistics of that. So we went to the airport with a sign with their last name on it, and we even had like cab hats on.
Nice.
You know, just like
add a little fun to it, right?
right. So we have fun with it, and you know, we just wanted them to know, listen, we're here for you. Everything's going to run smoothly. So we greeted them at the airport. So that's like the above and beyond service that I'm talking about. You know, some planners will have, you know, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours for their packages. We're the first ones there, the last ones to leave, and we, you know, don't want anyone to do anything on their wedding day as far as, you know, taking the gifts to their car at the end of the night, you know, that kind of thing. We really want it to be a day they can just enjoy and not work at.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like you're taking a lot off your client's plate, so that way they can enjoy whatever that moment is overall, and I can appreciate that. So, Sanja Morgan.
Sonia Morgan.
Oh, sorry,
yes.
Sonia. So,
yes, from
so
Real
I
Housewives
should know this,
of,
right?
well, all the girls will. I don't know.
But
and some boyfriends that are forced to watch it.
This review, I guess, testimony she left with you, which is amazing. So Sonia Morgan, Carly is a one-stop shop when it comes to an event organizing. You can count on her to make your event a success, whether it is a photo shoot or a company event for hundreds of people. It will be covered from A to Z. And that's what you're mentioning, is like from being the first one in, last one out,
yes.
and making sure you're taking off the load from your clients. And to get that testimonial from her is super powerful.
So we did 2 covers.
Sorry, Sonia, I didn't mean to butcher your name, all right?
So we did 2 covers with Sonia when I worked at Social Life magazine, and you know, she was just so fun to work with, and I produced her cover parties that were at the magazine house in the Hamptons.
So I want to talk about the Social Life magazine.
Yeah.
What kind of experience was that also that you were able to gain from, you know, working with the editors, getting the articles in place? You know, I know I mentioned reading that you're managing the photo shoots and stuff like that. Like, it seemed like you were like carrying a lot of hats in that particular internship, and then being promoted as well.
Definitely, yeah. And so it was a small knit group at the magazine, and I was assistant to the editor-in-chief, and then I also assisted the publisher for one summer as well. So, you know, that's what I was talking about, that I kind of figured out what I liked and what I didn't like, because they had me doing so many different things and wearing so many hats. And I think that, you know, as an entrepreneur, anyone can relate to this, that you have to do a ton of things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like for wedding planning and for Milk Glass, for instance, I love the design. I love working with the clients. I love planning everything. What I don't love is I don't love contracts. I don't love taxes. I don't love managing all the money and, the paychecks and all of that. Those are like my least favorite things.
You recognize that and you outsource it or hand it off to someone else.
Right. And so, but you have to know, especially when you're getting started, that there are things that you don't want to do that you're going to have to do.
If there's one role within your business that you can exclusively do for the rest of your life, what would that one role be?
It would be the design.
The design aspect?
I love walking into a room, just like an empty canvas, and making it gorgeous. That's my favorite thing.
Okay.
So that's like my passion and what I love. The creativity and,
Good. So, 5 years in business now, and you have 2 other businesses. Yes. Can we speak about the 2 other legs that you have going on within in your life right now?
And so, first to talk about Milk Glass Venue Consulting. I don't even have a website for that one yet. It's just from word of mouth, and it just keeps taking off. We're going to probably have 5 venues by next year. So we're consultants, and it's kind of a funny story with how that started. I did a fashion show for a huge company in Boulder, and they had this huge warehouse, and they were like, we want to turn this into a wedding venue, and they were so happy with the event that we threw for them. They were like, can you help us with this? So, we spent months, and my lawyer, Chris, thank you, Chris, helped me come up with this contract that we would manage the venue for them, we would help them start it up, and we would throw events for them. Long story short, they sent it to corporate in New York. They had came to me and said, we want your help.
Right.
So I thought it was a done deal.
Right.
And they said, it didn't work out. And I had another entrepreneur in Boulder, another planner, say to me, well, now you know how to do this. Take this and do it elsewhere. Right. I was like so down on myself. Sure. And I was like, I can't believe I spent all that money and that time developing this idea. And, she was like, who cares? That didn't work out. It was meant to be, take that and put it towards something else. And it was the best advice anyone ever gave me. And then I had a couple call me, about a year later, and they were starting up a venue. And, I said, this is what I was going to do for this other company. Would you be interested in my consulting services? So that's how it kind of started. And, from that one company in Boulder approaching me, now I have this whole other business.
So that situation was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
They reached out to you, uncharted territory coming from your business, your experiences. You have to reach out to the legal team, an advisor.
Which is expensive for
an
entrepreneur, a small business to pay, to have this brand new contract created with, this huge corporation. So you need someone that's,
So, you talk about you're down and on yourself for, the time spent, money spent, lost opportunity. There's a full spectrum on that. This entrepreneur that came to you, another planner that came to you and said, hey, you just chipped away at something special here.
Right.
Were you bought in right away to say, okay, maybe she might be onto something, or were you still reluctant on moving forward with that?
I didn't even really realize it. When you're in it, you need a fresh set of eyes on it.
Right.
I was so in it, and I was so down on myself. When you just try so hard and something just doesn't work out, your immediate reaction is to think failure or something like that. But so, when she said just take this and implement it elsewhere, I was like, oh, light bulb. That's a great idea, and that's a really positive outlook. So I think that, as an entrepreneur, you need to remain positive and, if you just keep trying really hard, you can't go backwards.
Right.
You can only go forward. So I always tell myself that. And, maybe if you don't see the benefit of it right now, in 3 months, in a year, you will. Because if you keep putting stuff towards something, you're going to see an end result eventually.
And how long has this now new concept been in place?
So it took, so now we have 3 different venues that we're working with, and we have 2 others that are about to sign. So by next year, we'll probably have 5 that we're consulting with. So it took with contracts and all of that, it probably took like 2 years to get off the ground.
Wow.
And now it's really, and it all kind of happened in January that it's all starting to
pick up right now.
Yeah, so
now,
it's really exciting.
And how are you identifying the venues? Are you guys proactively reaching out to the venues and say, hey, like, you're not using this space? You said it was also word of mouth too.
It's just word of mouth,
yeah.
Which is really, that's the best part, is that it's from my colleagues and peers and people that I've worked with over the years that are recommending us, which is just such a compliment.
I love that. So before we get into the other project you're working on, the other business you have going on, what can one expect from Milk Glass Productions, a year to 3 years from now? Where's your vision in growing this? I know you have, a staff that you're working with that has been, key pillars to your growth, especially the last year or so. But what can your customers and the community expect from Milk Glass moving forward?
I think, just really fun, beautiful events that, are as flawless as possible. I think that there are always hiccups, and anyone who says there aren't are lying.
100%.
There's always hiccups, but it's how you handle the hiccups and, just keeping on your toes, and you can only do what you can do the day of the event.
Yeah.
And, you just have to prevent those as much as possible in advance. So, 5-year plan, I mean, we just want to keep growing, and, I don't want to have a huge staff of 15. I think what's really special what's special about us is that we want to be, have this intimate experience and be this small, close-knit group that really provides great customer service.
Are you hands-on with all your customers that are coming through?
Every client.
Yeah.
So there's some companies where there's, 15, 20 planners and, the owner's not very involved. I, am at every single event. I'm not going to pass that off. And, so we're very hands-on, and we want to stay small. We don't want to grow really big, and we want quality over quantity.
If you're one that likes golf and Moscow Mules, she's got a great event coming up here in a couple weeks. That's exactly how I found out about you. Was on Instagram, on my personal page on Instagram. I was scrolling through, and the Mule Majors popped up in my newsfeed somehow. I don't know if it was a sponsored ad or if it was just cross-contamination of something. So I click on it. I'm like, this looks interesting. And then I get deeper and deeper into it. And then I think I hit you up on Instagram for my business page, Fluent Hustle, and then we kind of went back and forth via emails. Mm-hmm. But I didn't realize how awesome the event this really was until I dug deeper into it. So I really want you to speak about the Mule Majors and how you came up with this concept and what can one expect as you show up to an event coming ahead, because it's super, super cool.
Definitely.
So go online to themulemajors.com and buy your tickets now in the next couple of weeks, and let's get out there and support her. But tell us about the event.
Yeah, so I came up with the concept with my business partner Tucker, and so he is a lighting designer, and he does concerts, and he owns his own lights. So he does that side of things, and I'm really good at the design. So we kind of complement each other, and we've been developing this idea for the last year. And so basically, who doesn't love mini golf? Who doesn't love Moscow Mules?
Right.
So it's mini golf, and I think it's perfect for both genders. Girls love it, guys love it. It's a perfect weekend activity for a couple or a group of friends. We've had a lot of interest in bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, reaching out.
Wow.
So, I think it's really fun for groups of friends, couples, all age groups as well. So it's mini golf and it's Moscow Mules. So for each of the 9 holes, we have a mule for that hole, and then we also have a food pairing.
Wow.
So, for instance, we have a Mexican hole, and, we have a tequila mule with tacos.
My favorite right there, enough said.
So we have, a Colorado one, a California one, so we have a Derby-themed one with bourbon, and so, I think that, all of the different holes have different decor, so that kind of goes with the mule. So the decor is going to be amazing, the golf's going to be amazing, food and drinks amazing. So,
and you're also asking people to dress up too, right?
Yes.
I noticed that on the website.
Yes. So we want people to dress up in fun golf attire, whether it's vintage or goofy. We want those like derby hats. We want people to kind of dress up and have that be the theme.
How's your putting? Is your putting game pretty strong, or what?
My business partner is pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I do it for fun. So that's the other thing, is that everyone at all levels can participate.
Yes.
So, whether you're just goofing around or you're actually serious about it, I think there's something for everyone. We're working with Birdie Ball. They have their own putting greens for your office or your home or, wherever you want to put it. And they have, they're sponsoring the VIP section. So there's a whole 9 holes just donated by Birdie Ball for the VIP. So if you're kind of serious about it, maybe go VIP. And there's an extra mule and food pairing.
So our good friend Ashley says, Carly, I have made lots of homemade custom wedding. I can't see the rest. But Ashley, connect with Carly directly. You've been a major, so Ashley's one of our major advocates of our Facebook Lives and the Fluent Hustle.
Hi.
But yeah, we'll definitely get you guys connected. Ashley has a business, apparel company for kids, and she does these other events where I can't really explain off the top of my head, but she's putting together like paintings and like wine painting pairings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she might be a cool person to connect with. And again, Ashley, we appreciate all your support that you've given Fluent Hustle throughout the last couple of months. So I'm going to be at that event.
Yes.
We're going to promote the heck out of the event in the next couple weeks. It's April
7th.
April
and there's
7th.
2 different sessions. There's one from 1 to 4 and then one from 6 to 9. And we'll be live streaming the Masters. We have an IV hydration bar. So if you're hungover from opening day or, the night before, we can help you out there. IV Hydrate is the bar that's going to be there, and they're giving out free B12 shots to people before they're drinking, which will help out with the hangover.
Are they in the Highlands? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're like on Bonnie Bray and in the Highlands.
Okay, they have 2 locations.
Yeah,
okay,
2 locations, and I work with them for weddings a lot.
Good.
So if people are hungover or they're having altitude sickness at weddings, we've had IV bars as well. So I've worked with them a few times. They're absolutely wonderful. And then, we're also, we have golf movies playing, so putting challenges.
How many people are you ultimately anticipating them being there?
So we're capping it at 2,000, so we're hoping like 1,000 a
Wow.
shift.
Wow.
But Sports Castle is huge. It's like 3 huge levels.
Okay.
And, just the decor is going to be amazing at each bar. Like I said, everything has its own theme. And
Well, off record, I'm going to make an introduction to you with someone that can help capture the moment. But we'll talk about that a little later on.
Always down for a new
really
connection.
Cool. Yes. So, so 5 years in business with Milk Glass Productions. 2 years in the works with the
venue consulting. Milk Glass Venue Consulting.
Okay, Milk Glass Venue Consulting. So you got 2 businesses right there.
Yes.
Now you got the Mule Majors that just started within the last 6 months or so. How do you manage your time and keep your mind right?
I don't. I'm just kidding. No, so I mean, it helps that, I have a wonderful staff that helps me. With the Mule Majors, I have a wonderful business partner, Tucker, who's helping out with that. But I think it's just, what I do is I make a list every day. This is everything that has to get done today. And, it's just about staying organized and staying on top of things. I definitely don't work a 9 to 5. We were talking about this. I haven't had a day off in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and it just goes back to, if you keep trying and you keep hustling, you can only see things come from that.
Right.
So I just keep telling myself that and kind of keep pushing forward.
So being one that is fully experienced from your internships and then your other jobs you had, running 3 businesses, like what's the best advice you can give to the entrepreneurship community for either someone that's considering to get into business or one that might be in business and they're kind of stuck and they're complacent and they're not really sure where to go, but what comes to mind in terms of here's the best advice I can give to the community?
Definitely. I think that, you just have to know your strengths and weaknesses and don't be anyone that you're not. So, I've been very honest about, I'm not an academic. I, am not the best writer. Just know what you're good at and focus on that, and then find other people that complement you.
Right.
So, and you just have to work really, really hard. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. Some days I work from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m., and, with events and stuff, I work all weekend. So, it's definitely tiring, but
Sure.
you do need to make time for yourself, and you just got to keep trucking.
So one, understand your strengths and recognize your weaknesses, right?
Yes.
And it seems like you play heavily on your strengths, and your weaknesses, you recognize them, but you don't, try to make your weaknesses that much better. I mean, it's not that you should be really focused on it, but you seem like you're really playing on your strengths.
Right.
But then authenticity, being honest with yourself and being honest with your clients and the people you're working with and the community that you're involved with,
right.
Is also crucial. What has been the biggest challenge that you've been facing within your business the last 5 years? Because they say the first year is the hardest year.
Yes.
And then they say once you get to year 5, your chances of going to year 10 and 15 are significantly increased. So we hope to see you there. But what's been a challenge that comes to mind that either it keeps on poking its head, or just something that you faced a long time ago, you're able to overcome it?
Yeah, definitely. So, the first 2 years of business I was nannying while I was getting this off the ground.
Wow.
So, I think the challenges have been figuring out how to run a business.
Yeah.
So when was the time to just, say I'm ready to dive in and do this full time? And then once you kind of have that fire under you, then it's like, okay, I have to book X amount, and, so that was really challenging at first, figuring out, balancing how I was going to pay for things and, getting off the ground. The other thing, I still struggle with, when do you hire another employee?
Right.
How much money should you have saved before you just dive in?
Right.
And then when you have other things on the pipeline, a lot of times it's just a chance, and, you just figure it out as you go. But it's challenging for me, definitely the business side of things, being so design oriented.
Yeah.
So I've become really good at, budgeting and all of those things, but I think that's been my biggest challenge, is kind of figuring it out.
Did you have any business experience prior to getting into business?
No.
So yeah. so a lot of your experiences from design and the experiences from the design side, but when it actually came to operating a business, you went into blind.
Right.
Huh?
I went into it blind. I knew a lot about events from having worked for Colin Cowie and for having worked for Social Life magazine. And, producing events for television and celebrities. And, that really gave me a leg up here, having that New York City background in Colorado to start my own business. But the business side of things, I really had to figure that out fast, which I think I have.
Good. Well, we appreciate your time today. You've been super fun. Love the office you have here. Super excited about what you have going on, and we're going to promote the heck out of the event you have coming up on April 7th.
Can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going to win this thing. I'm going to try my best to have my putting game strong. I'm actually trying to go golfing tomorrow, so I'll get on the putting greens and see if I can bring some heat out there. So, Ira Coleman here, live with Carly, the owner of Milk Glass Productions. Again, Fluent Hustle is a community that empowers, promotes, and inspires entrepreneurs through the stories of other entrepreneurs. So I really appreciate you taking the time today. The insight you provided to me, just kind of off the cuff, has been phenomenal. So hopefully our community can get some value out of that. And we look forward to supporting you, helping promote your business in the future. And thank you very much for coming on our show.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.